John the Baptist have to do with Christmas? I will tell you. This is right before the story of how Jesus was born. During the rule of Herod, king of Judah, there was a priest assigned to service in the regiment of Abijah. His name was Zechariah. His wife was descended from the daughter of Aaron. Her name was Elizabeth. So we've got Zechariah and Elizabeth. Cool. Together they lived honorable before God, careful in keeping the ways of the commandments and enjoying a clear conscience before God. They were childless because Elizabeth could not conceive, and she was quite old. 2 old people, no kids. Got it? Zechariah and Elizabeth. It so happened Zechariah was carrying out his priestly duties, and he was doing his job in the church, working the shift assigned to his regiment. So we'll call it, for the sake of the story, working the midnight shift. Zechariah lighting candles in the church. So it came his one turn in life to enter the sanctuary of God and burn incense. In the middle of the church, they would go in there, light some incense. That sounds cool. All right. The congregation was gathered and praying outside the temple at the hour of the incense offering. Unannounced, an angel of God appeared just to the right of the altar of incense. Zechariah was paralyzed in fear. Just doing his thing, angel shows up. Kind of crazy, right? So he's afraid. The angel reassured him, "Don't fear, your prayer has been heard. Elizabeth, your wife, will bear you a son. You are to name him John. You're going to leap like a gazelle for joy, and not only you, many will delight in his birth. He'll achieve great stature with God. He'll drink neither wine nor beer, and he'll be filled with the Holy Spirit from the moment he leaves his mother's womb. He will turn many sons and daughters of Israel back to their God. He will herald God's arrival in the style and strength of Elijah." Elijah was a renowned Old Testament prophet. Yes. "Soften hearts of parents to children and kindle devout understanding among hardened skeptics. He'll get the people ready for God." So he's saying your kid is going to come before what Israel is waiting for as a Messiah. Okay?
So before Jesus.
Before Jesus, yep. People knew all of the prophecies about this guy Jesus that was going to come. The foretelling of this guy Jesus. They didn't know when. This angel is telling him, your kid's going to be here before Jesus. Okay. Zechariah said to the angel, "Do you expect me to believe this? I'm an old man and my wife is an old woman." So he's like, "Yeah, right, dude." But the angel said, "I am Gabriel." Gabriel is a big time angel. Okay? Hall of Fame.
CEO.
Hall of Fame of the angels type thing. "I am Gabriel, the sentinel of God, sent especially to bring you this glad news. But because you won't believe me, you'll be unable to say a word until the day of your son's birth." So he said, "Okay, you jerk, you don't believe me. You can't talk until your son's born."
So you could tell the old lady that.
No, but we'll get there. We'll get there how the old lady found out. Meanwhile, the congregation waiting for Zechariah was getting restless, wondering what was keeping him so long in the sanctuary. When he came out and couldn't speak, they knew he had seen a vision. He continued speechless to use sign language with the people. Michael, show us how he would, in sign language, try to tell a crowd that he's seen an angel. It's like, oh, yeah.
Michael, Kevin,
Pterodactyl. No. Turkey. I'm in a box. I have binoculars, and I'm in the high seats of the bleachers. And I just got killed. No, I didn't. I was joking. JK. I found this chalkboard, and I erased it. Okay, thanks.
No. I
Hey,
see.
Oh, good one.
Oh, yeah.
What did you do?
Yeah,
I
all
drew
around.
it and
Why? I'll pay up later.
And so Michael did that to you, and you're supposed to go like this, and you didn't do that. And if you don't do that, then you have to go on the ground. I had to do the math class the other day.
That's crazy.
What a strange game.
I'll pay up later. Remind me afterwards. Okay. As you can see, it would be kind of difficult to tell that story. So, when the course of his priestly assignment was completed, he went back home. So he still had to finish his shift at church, lighting candles and all that.
Night shift.
Yep. It wasn't long before his wife Elizabeth conceived. She went off by herself for 5 months, relishing her pregnancy. So she went on a vacation, which found out she was pregnant.
Pregnancy leave.
Yeah. Whatever. Relax. Oh, I know. We're talking about other babies. In the 6th month of Elizabeth's pregnancy, God sent an angel Gabriel to the Galilean village of Nazareth to a virgin engaged to be married to a man descendant upon David. His name was Joseph, and the virgin's name was Mary. So, same angel, talking to Mary now. Okay. We'll get to that part next week. But moving forward, I gotta find my spot. Okay, when Elizabeth, so Zechariah's wife Elizabeth, was full term in her pregnancy, she bore a son. Her neighbors and relatives, seeing that God had overwhelmed her with mercy, celebrated with her. On the 8th day, they came to do doctorly things to the little boy. And they were calling him Zechariah after his father, but his mother intervened and said, no, he is to be called John. But they said, no one in your family is named that. They used sign language to ask Zechariah what he wanted him named. Asking for a tablet, Zechariah wrote, his name is to be John. Took everybody by surprise. Surprise followed. Zechariah's mouth was now open, his tongue loose, and he was talking, praising God.
So wait. His mouth was closed the whole time?
No, that was just a metaphor. So, moving a little bit farther. Zechariah was filled and prophesied, blessed be the Lord, the God of Israel. He came and set his people free, referring to getting out of Egypt. He set the power of salvation in the center of our lives, and in the very house of David his servant, very house, they're in the lineage of David, King David, Old Testament King David, David and Goliath. They're in the family tree of David, so house of David. Just as he's promised long ago through the preaching of his holy prophets, deliverance from our enemies, mercy to our fathers, moving on. And he just talks about what this kid is going to do in his life, and how happy they are. The child grew up healthy and spirited. He lived out in the desert until the day he made his prophetic debut in Israel. We'll pick that up later. So, this dude named John, was this a surprise to the earth, or did people knew that this guy John was coming? Do you have that, Malachi?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and read Malachi. 3:1.
See, I will send my messenger who will prepare the way for me. Then suddenly the Lord your speaking will come to the temple, and the messenger of the convenient who you desire will come, says the Lord Almighty.
Good. Go find yours, Nick, in Isaiah. Isaiah 40:3-5. Got it? Go. Cool. Good. Alright. Isaiah. The prophet Isaiah.